Oh boy, good afternoon everyone. This is Steve with Real Progressives. Most of you all have read Bernie's op-ed in the LA Times today, I'm sure. And it didn't say anything that we haven't heard from all the other vote blue fear porn peddlers. It didn't hear nary a word that we hadn't heard before. Every bit of it is the same exact fear porn we've been force-fed for I don't know how long. If you remember, Bernie was not even in the race. They didn't even care about him. They kept saying he was unelectable. It was a joke. And they've been worried about Hillary ever since. They've been worried about Hillary since 2008 when they got all the press on that airplane as Obama and Clinton rode off to meet with whoever it was they met with to make sure that she was going to be president after his 8 years. This whole thing has been going on for so damn long. And now all of a sudden the American people are saying, hell no, man. We're not gonna co-sign your bullshit. So you see how many absolutely aberrant people continue the Ralph Nader fear porn that, oh my God, the Nader effect. We have debunked that time after time after time. Tons and tons of Democrats changed their, they voted for Bush. And quite frankly, you had Jeb Bush down in Florida putting his thumb on the scale. And then you had the Supreme Court go ahead and make a selection. And then you had Gore refuse to fight his way through it. So, enough with the Nader effect. But Bernie's feeling that. Bernie is petrified of going the last couple years of his life as being deemed Nader 2016. I don't know why, because I think Nader's an incredibly awesome guy. But that's the deal. Bernie, he's penning these things out there. He's not saying anything new or different. He's not really, digging deep. He's just saying stuff to make sure that he does not get the blame if Donald Trump gets elected. So it sucks, it's painful, but you know what? I don't even pay any attention to it, nor should you. He's already told you all point blank. If I ever tell you who to vote for, ignore me. And we have said time and again, buddy, we are going to follow you to the end, right up to that point, and we're going to Jill. We're not voting for, so it's all good. We understand you got to go through these motions. You got to say what you got to say. And you know what? You've got a revolution you're fighting to renew Congress. We're not going to worry about your presidential selection. It's okay. You're off the hook, man. We're not supporting her, so it's not up to you to make us support her. It's okay. It's okay, Bernie. We love you anyway, buddy. So I want to get back to a lot of you I see in here. Got to watch me on with Tim Black last night. It was an incredible experience. We talked about an awful lot of things. One of the things that we talked about was the Trump fear porn. And here's something very important that we all should be very aware of. Whenever the Democrats are not in power, the Democrats are anti-war. The Democrats are for the poor people of the country. They're for food stamps. They're for all these wonderful things like health care. I mean, when they're not in power, man, they're peddling that nonsense to you and me. They're trying to make us think that they got it for us. They're here to fight the power. They're here to help us out. But invariably, as soon as they get in power, they forget that they're anti-war. They forget that they care about the environment. They forget what it means to be a progressive. And that's because they aren't a progressive. They are not a progressive group. Elizabeth Warren is not a progressive. Elizabeth Warren has a couple things in her resume that make people go, wow. And why is that? Because we have let the left look like it is a bunch of crazy step-uncles that are drinking tequila at Thanksgiving dinner. That's what they have tried to cast the left as. Well, I'm going to give a shout out to the Tea Party for a minute, And I'm going to say, guys, way to fight through the shade that they tried to cast on you. Now, don't get me wrong, you're a bunch of jerks. But bravo that you guys stood fast to your convictions. Now, I'm going to fight the living hell out of you on your convictions, but I dig someone fighting for their convictions. I love it. I love it, man. Mega props to the Tea Party in that respect. So we, as the left, are watching a coup happen in this country. And they're trying to put it on Bernie Sanders to go out there so you're not the new Nader. Go out there, Bernie. Make all your followers fall in line. But Bernie created a bunch of free thinkers. Now, you'll see a bunch of, wimps running around, Trump, And I think the most important piece to this is the reason why they're doing that is because it's a lot easier to check out, man. I would much rather be going swimming than live streaming. I'd much rather be chilling with my fiance, watching a stupid movie, relaxing, chilling out, than fighting a revolution. I would rather everything be fixed, right? So these people, they're like, man, I don't really like this bleak world that you pulled me out of the Matrix and you've shown me. I don't really like this world. Can you maybe, reinsert me into the Matrix so I can eat filet mignon again? Yeah, I don't care if it's fake filet mignon. Just make sure you put some steak sauce and some garlic on it. Just make sure you make that wine taste really, really good. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. They would rather live in a fake world than the world that we have to live in to fight this fight. And I see people, I know me, myself, there's times where I get really down about this. I mean, I get really down. And I get down because I keep expecting people to be smarter than they are. And they never disappoint. They always let me know that they're just not all that sharp. It's like carving turkey with a spoon. And, it's up to us. It's up to us. There's 75 people watching this right now. I'd like to see that to be 250 people watching it, but I'll take 77 people watching it. And hopefully you 73, 75, 77 people, hopefully you go out and you stop people dead in their tracks and say, hey, listen, Bernie is trying to make sure that this movement doesn't get derailed with the congressional push that he's trying to do with his new organization, Our Revolution. He's trying to make sure that his credibility and his clout isn't completely wrecked by being dubbed the modern version of Ralph Nader. What these morons don't realize is that the left, aka you and me, we kind of dig Ralph Nader, man. We love Ralph. We love him. He's a great guy. He fought the power, man. He fought the system. He didn't sit there and go along to get along. He said, you guys are bought and paid for. There's people are dying because of your stuff. People are dying because you guys won't stand firm. You guys don't care about real, honest-to-God consumer protection. You guys don't really actually care about stopping war. You definitely don't care about the environment. You just say a lot of things, and dumb people, just dumb people, buy it. Time and time and time and time again. And you're going to see them running around, that next wave of former burners or burners running around saying, we've got to stop Trump. Folks, I have a feeling Trump is going to stop himself soon because he was always a plant to make Hillary look like a human being, to remove the Borg element of Hillary and to make her look like, my God, she is the only one alive that could possibly handle this now. Wow. That's it, man. She has proven who she is time and time again. So why would Bernie go to such trouble to continue haggling and nagging us to fall in line for the shill? The only answer I come up with, the only two answers that I come up with are A, he's scared to death to be dubbed Ralph Nader, And two, he's trying to maintain his power base. I get the power base part. I don't like it, but I get it. But being Ralph Nader, you could do a lot worse than that, couldn't you? So, as a progressive and as somebody trying to start real progressive news, where we're taking on, providing you alternative op-eds that approach these subjects from a true progressive angle, I'm telling you all straight up, we've seen this before. There's nothing new under the sun going on here. There's nothing new under the sun going on. Every single time we elect a Republican or a Democrat, they, whoever that party is, loses seats in Congress, they lose seats at the state level, they lose seats at the county level, and they lose seats at the school board even. Every time. Every single time. So when you ask yourself, wow, we've got to do something about Trump, we've got to stop Trump, and you subjugate us to Hillary, what do you think's going to happen to Congress, even with Bernie pushing for it? What do you think's going to happen at the state level? You think the Republicans are just going to stop fighting? You think they're just going to vanish? No. What's happening is you're seeing a convergence of two sides of the same coin. You're seeing the center left merge with the center right to become a new power structure. That new power structure is the direct result of you, not you all. I'm assuming you guys are smarter than this, but whoever you all are, whoever it is that celebrates moderation, whoever celebrates being in the middle, the both-siders, those are the people that are giving us the big old screw job without so much as a kiss or a dab of Vaseline. They're the ones that are creating this block of legitimacy, that are seeing neocons, that are seeing Republicans, that are seeing the worst of America sign up to support Hillary. And at the same time, you're seeing our political hero who started this revolution write a meager op-ed to say, hey guys, please support her. Please support her. So, know who you are. Know what it means to be a real progressive. Know what it means to be a neoliberal. And know that Bernie is fighting for another day. So that's why I'm not even paying any mind to that. I'm listening to his Our Revolution for those congressional seats, for those different progressives. You notice something? Bernie skedaddled with the cattle prod. He ran, bounced straight up out of the Democratic Party right after the convention. He didn't stick around to support that party. He exited. Right? I mean, seriously, that's what he did. So that means the people that he supports, they're not going to necessarily be Democrats either, right? The people that he brings in, they could be Greens, they could be Independents, they could be Democratic Socialists, they could be Progressive Independent Party. Either way, they're going to be real progressives. So I'm not too concerned with him penning something, because our goal has got to be, and if you listened to Tim and I last night, you know that our goal has got to be to start donating to Jill Stein, to start volunteering to phone bank for Jill Stein, to show them, hey, look, we're willing to suffer through 4 years because, back to my point about losing seats in Congress, we would rather have Congress flip to the left than have a president at the top who's a phony lefty, who's actually a freaking spokesperson for corporations, who's actually an activist for corporations, who's actually the neoliberal Satan. We would rather suffer through 4 years of playing outsider politics and blocking every single thing he puts forth than support her for 1 minute. Because once you cast that vote, all of her cronies fill every spot in the government. She has DHS, She has labor and industry. She has secretary. She has a state house. She's got the FBI. She got the Federal Reserve. She got everything that she can nominate and put these people in power. The people that'll keep her secrets secret. The people that won't prosecute her. The people that won't question her. The people that will allow our kids to die in her wars. That's right. They will be in every single state party area, and they will be out there fighting to get the Debbie Wasserman Schultzes of the world elected, not the Tim Canovas. That's what you get when you go with the shill. That's what you get. A bunch of worthlessness. A bunch of just, you want to talk about the dark act? Wait till you see it dark when you go for a FOIA request to try and find out about the Clinton Foundation. Wait till you find out. Who's going to run it? Bill and her would be both Mr. and Mrs. President, right? So who's going to be soliciting funds from Saudi Arabia when they're sitting in the White House? They don't even care, man. They don't have anything to hide anymore because the friggin' FBI said nothing to see here. I mean, they said there's plenty to see here, but she's too big to jail. So unless you want that at every single level of government, you better donate to Jill Stein, stat. We better block the coronation, stat. We better get the Green Party up on that stage. Because if we don't, every one of our issues will be gone. You won't hear about them anymore. You won't hear anything about our issues anymore. They'll be gone. It'll be Trump bad, Hillary bad. That's the beginning and the ending of the political discussion. That's it. Progressives, we're too damn smart to handle that kind of bullshit binary logic. Aren't we? Aren't you? I know you are. I see your comments. I watch your shares. I know what you're thinking because I'm thinking it too. It's fuck you, Hillary. That's what we're thinking. Yeah, I'm sorry. I went rated R right there for you because it's that serious. If we don't hold the line, in 2020, we'll be back at square zero, except we won't have either house. We won't have Senate and we won't have the House. And you want to talk about screwing up the Supreme Court? Maybe your kids will think about it posthumously as they're dead in her wars. That's right. That's right. And you want to talk about recessions? If you guys listen to me at all about economics, you know that her austerity, her tight purse strings, will drown this country and make us all begging for crumbs. She's every bit as bad as the Paul Ryans of the world. Tim Kaine believes that we should look at every single government program, every single entitlement, and put it on the chopping block. Tim Kaine believes in the Trans-Pacific Partnership. Hillary believes in the Trans-Pacific Partnership. She's just got to play the game. I'm sure what will happen is she'll get in office, if she gets in office, if you guys don't do your job. And she'll tweak something, miraculously tweak something and say, well, now it is the gold standard. Now I can support the TPP. Wow, whatever could we have done without my editorial prowess? Now all of a sudden you're going to get dummies like frickin' Larry Summers, who are stupid as a box of rocks, austerity monitorists, people that celebrate surpluses when surpluses bleed the economy of viability. That's right. If you guys give a crap about your kids in this country, you're going to stand with me and you're going to donate and you're going to help me get Jill on that debate stage. She may not win, But we got to make sure that we're out there. Think about it, right? Think about all those phone banking parties you used to have for Bernie Sanders. Think about all the times you would sit there and line up trying to hear Bernie Sanders make a speech. Now, Bernie was our girlfriend, right? He was our lover. Bernie's gone. We got another lover now. It's Jill Stein. We haven't quite built up our relationship with her yet. You know, we're still looking at her like a new thing. The fact of the matter is that whether she's Bernie or not, girlfriend's progressive as hell. She's one of us, man. And she may have a couple things that make you scratch your head. And I've already talked at length about her beliefs about vaccinations and stuff like that. She's not anti-vax, folks. Don't spread it around anymore. Don't spread it. Just don't do it. She wants oversight. And what I mean by oversight is removing the revolving door of big pharma and big government marrying up, loving each other, and bringing each other into the fold. And she's looking for an independent review of medicines and vaccines to keep maybe the slightly paranoid happy, but more importantly, to make sure things are done correctly. I don't think it's pandering. I live with someone who's a little bit paranoid sometimes. She's sweet, she's beautiful, she's the mother of my son, but she is a little paranoid. And I have to sometimes talk her off of a ledge. But I talked to her about Jill, and she's like, you know what? I kind of like her stance. I'm like, good. So even someone like yourself, who is not terribly politically astute, can see the value in Jill Stein. So we transition from Bernie. We let Bernie write his op-eds in the LA Times. We let him do what he's got to do to cover his butt so he's not dubbed the next Democrat scapegoat as the next new Nader. And we fight like a mother for Jill Stein. What do y'all say? Today is she's calling, I'm not going to lie, some of the stuff is silly. She's calling it a money boom. Well, we know it's a money bomb. But it's a money boom because she's trying to explode her donations. And $27 from each one of you here watching this would go a long way toward helping out. And if we continue to help out and sign up for her at her website and volunteer and get in the phone banking, help her get recognized, help her get noticed, we might just knock the oligarchy on its butt. We might. We just might. Never say never, right? Help get her on the ballots in all the states. There's ballot initiatives in every state. She's on the state of Pennsylvania, so I get to vote for her. Take a look. We'll put it out there soon, you know, where it's at in terms of ballot initiatives and so forth. But you need to volunteer. Volunteer, 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 just like it was Bernie Sanders. Take your Bernie hat, flip it around, make it a green one, says Jill. Simple. Jill is where the revolution is now. So, with that, ignore Bernie's plea to support the shill. Just wipe it out of your mind. Talk to people when they say it and just go, nope, not going to do it. Wouldn't be prudent. And just flat out tell them, this revolution dies a terrible death if Hillary gets in there, because we will lose the House and the Senate. We will lose states. We will lose more states. My God, how many Republican governors do we need to have before you realize this shit's for real? She's going to continue to plummet this thing. And instead of getting progressives, you will get nothing but these new recruited Republicans that are all supporting the shill. Hey, you know what, Hillary? We'll support you, but aside from bombing those people in the Middle East, can you get my buddy over there into office? Can you imagine the payola for the Republicans she's got on her team now? Not worth it, folks. Not worth it. So anyway, let's donate to Jill. Let's get ourselves motivated. Let's start phone banking. Let's start sharing posts. You need to learn about Jill. Find out about her policies. Find out about her new vice presidential candidate. Find out about the Green Party so that you can effectively help them. And let's leave the duopoly to die on the vine. Because we are going to be fighting the new power structure, which is the center right and the center left against the edges. And it's up to us to kick their butt. This is Steve with Real Progressives. Thank you guys for tuning in with me on Tim Black last night and for watching this video. Please share. Please get your friends to help Jill. Thanks. Have a great weekend.